When you're dining at your favorite restaurant, like here at Lucky Shucks in Jupiter, you may have noticed something's a little off. Restaurants all over South Florida are having the same crippling business issue.
People aren't really coming in and applying.
We've been hiring for a week and we've had 3 people come in and say, you know, I'd like to work here.
We have openings right now at all our locations.
Angelo Abonante, owner of Lenora's
Kitchen, this is where the fire started.
And Rocco Mangal, owner of Rocco's Tacos, are frustrated. They're all reaching their tipping points because they can't recruit enough workers to offer their guests quality service.
So when people tell you they want to work, no, they want to sit home and collect unemployment.
A lot of these folks are making as much money to stay home than they would be to come to work.
I mean, I feel like we're competing against unemployment on some level.
It's a competition they say they can't win right now.
You know, the government is paying people to stay home. And when you pay people to stay home, you know, this is the consequences.
People have a paid vacation until unemployment runs out.
10 people that accept an interview and you may have nobody show up.
It's something I've never seen before.
You'll go days and not even one application comes in.
Why?
I mean, why? People ask why.
Yeah.
And because half the workforce is lazy. Half the workforce doesn't want to work.
That may sound harsh, but Michelle Lefkowitz is at the end of her rope. She and her husband own Salute Market in Palm Beach Gardens.
When you need the right people for your team to grow and you can't find them because there's no one that wants to work, you're talking about a front of house manager, a lead hostess, a line cook, and a prep cook.
You're talking $200,000 worth of income there.
Yeah. Those 4 positions we're hiring for right now, and we cannot get qualified applicants that want to work.
She says other restaurants are offering cash incentives to attract employees to join the workforce, like signing bonuses.
I don't want to have to motivate somebody to get up off their couch to come to work. Our kitchen's been putting in 70 hours a week. And we do, and we have to pay overtime. We have no choice.
Are you going to have to start paying people more per hour to come in and work? Is that conducive to your business model?
We were actually able to give raises to our top 3 people in our kitchen this quarter.
Good for them.
You know, so they helped see us through a very difficult time.
A difficult time.
The water damage was the biggest thing from the fire going up 3 stories.
Rocco's Tacos is experiencing the same thing right down the road with only a few applicants knocking on his door.
We're having a very hard time finding help.
His Palm Beach Gardens location wants to reopen from fire damage it suffered last November. Appropriately, he wants to reopen by Cinco de Mayo.
I'm hoping that we get enough people to come in and apply by then, but we don't know.
He needs over 50 employees. Some are working at his other locations, and some say,
I'm waiting till unemployment runs out and I'm gonna come back. And we're gonna welcome him back.
When we interviewed Rocco from Rocco's Tacos about 3 weeks ago, his goal was to open by Cinco de Mayo, but he can't find any employees, so that's not gonna happen. In a growing trend, restaurants all over South Florida say a lack of workers is causing logistical problems for South Florida restaurants. Operators point the finger to extra unemployment benefits.
Well, that's certainly a factor, but it's a factor across the board in all of our employment sectors, but it seems to be particularly so in leisure and hospitality right now.
Discover the Palm Beaches, the county's tourism arm, says leisure and hospitality jobs typically employ around 100,000 people. When the coronavirus pandemic began, that dropped to just over 49,000. Now those jobs are starting to rebound.
We're moving in the right direction. Palm Beach County is doing better than the state and the nation. It was really encouraging today to find out that 88% of the number of jobs lost since COVID began have been recovered. Man, that's great news.
There are jobs, but business owners say there aren't enough people to fill them.
We were able to post an ad on our sources and we'd have 50 to 100 applications in 2 days. I'm lucky now to get 1 application.
Right now, workers can claim $275 a week from the state of Florida and $300 from the federal government. That's $575 in weekly unemployment benefits.
And then stimulus check upon stimulus check upon stimulus check.
Food distributor Cheney Brothers, based in Riviera Beach, is feeling the pinch.
Do you feel like you're competing against the government right now for employees?
I could not have said it better. That's exactly who we're competing with. We should be competing against our fellow distributors, restaurants should be competing against other restaurateurs. But right now, we're all competing against the U.S. government, and that's a tough battle to win.
How does small business compete with someone that can print money? You can't compete.
Senator Marco Rubio says while Florida's economy is booming in comparison to other states in the country, there's a real concern that some federal emergency programs are unintentionally keeping people out of the workforce. Florida State Senator Tina Polsky, based in Boca, says not so fast.
Before the pandemic, there was a bit of an overemployment situation. There were a lot of sort of lower paying jobs that were having trouble being filled. I think they need to offer proper wages. You know, we have this $15 an hour wage coming up.
It really does worry me that we're going to have to change the way we do things just to keep up with the higher labor costs.
You know, prior to the pandemic, I think we were pushing it. We were kind of at the limit, starting to feel it. And I think since the pandemic, a lot of people haven't come back.
Now business owners are finding alternative ways to attract employees, like 401ks, health insurance, and paid vacation.
But a lot of employers are sweetening the pot by offering increased pay, signing bonuses, and referral fees, things like that.
You know, wages have gone up here in the last few months.
Right now we're paying higher prices for food, liquor, beer, everything. The prices have gone up, whether it's even to-go containers.
When you run a restaurant, you want to keep your labor costs low, around 25 to 35%. But now with higher wages, more benefits, and overtime, restaurants are paying more.
You'll get up there in that 40%. Once you start getting to those numbers, I mean, it's pretty much, you're breaking even at that stage.
He even has some employees based in West Palm Beach without cars. He is transporting them to Palm Beach Gardens.
I'm definitely feeling the pinch, and I've even had other restaurateurs come to me and say, hey, you know, we're having to raise our prices on our menu.
On Monday, May 10th, restaurants like here at the Beacon in Jupiter are going to host a virtual job fair, but it's only going to provide a Band-Aid for the worker crisis situation. Restaurants say their staffs are feeling the strain, and relief is needed.
I think some people go out to eat and they see open tables and they think, oh, they're not busy. They don't realize the proverbial duck paddling underneath the water. The feet are going as fast as they can, and the restaurants are really working hard, and the staff that is there is working extremely hard under difficult situations.
To be patient when you're going out to eat. These restaurateurs didn't forget how to run their restaurants overnight, but they're struggling with staff. The staff that they do have is very tired, very overworked.
It may be your server didn't forget to put the order in. It may be there's not enough people in the kitchen to cook the food.
I've had my staff cry more first quarter of 2021 than in 5 years because people can be mean.
Closing off day parts, and they're closing, you know, days of the week. Like they may want to open on Sunday for brunch, but they are unable to. The employees that they have are willing to work, you know, the extra shifts and the extra hours, but they also don't want to burn them out.
Career Source Palm Beach County is advising potential workers to jump on getting a job now.
Well, that's why I say don't take the short-term view of collecting the jobless assistance. Hey man, now's the time. This is the best time in more than a year to get out there, get the job you want at the pay you want, and you'll be ahead of the line.
But what do restaurants do if they're tapped out of money and can't afford to raise wages? Restaurants can sign up for the Restaurant Revitalization Fund, which will help them recoup some of their losses during the pandemic and perhaps attract staff with higher wages.
Replace some old equipment, upgrade some things, be able to pay off some debts that we incurred over that time. So it's going to help with everything all around, all business expenses.
But restaurants need help. We need help. So it's nice.
And now with the mask mandate lifted,
I don't think it's a coincidence that kitchen staff is the one that's the toughest to get. So hopefully this mask thing helps that a bit and people want to come back to work.
In Jupiter, T.A. Walker for WPTV.com.